Money doesn't change who you are. It only magnifies what you already are. So the real question isn't how much money you can make. It's who you must become to attract it, keep it, and grow it. Imagine this. Two people start with the same paycheck, the same hours in a day, the same opportunities, yet one ends up broke, and the other builds a life of freedom. What made the difference? It wasn't luck, talent, or even timing. It was mindset. The difference lies not in how they made their money, but in how they thought about it. Today, I want to take you on a journey. A masterclass in how your thinking determines your earning, how your philosophy about money dictates your prosperity. Because if you can learn to think like the wealthy, even before you are wealthy, you set yourself on a path where success becomes predictable. So stay with me till the very end. Because I'm not just going to tell you what to do, I'm going to show you how to do it. These are practical steps, small, daily disciplines that turn your financial chaos into clarity, your struggle into strategy, and your money into a servant that works for you, not against you. All right, let's dive deep into Keynote 1E, the philosophy of value. You don't get paid for time, you get paid for value in the style requested. When most people think about money, they often think about time. They say, I work 8 hours a day. I deserve a paycheck for my hours. And there's a certain logic to that, isn't there? After all, hours are easy to measure, and paychecks are issued on schedules that match time. But here's the problem. Time alone has no inherent value. You could spend 1,000 hours doing nothing and accomplish nothing, and no one would pay you for it. The wealthy, the people who truly succeed financially, understand this. They understand that money doesn't reward hours, it rewards value. They understand that you can work 1 hour in the wrong way and produce nothing, or you can work 1 hour with brilliance, insight, and contribution and produce a value that could be worth thousands. The first principle of building wealth, therefore, is to stop thinking about work as merely showing up. You don't get paid for showing up. You don't get paid for effort alone. You get paid for what you bring to the table, for the solutions you provide, for the problems you solve. Value is measured not by sweat, but by results. When you understand that, you begin to see the difference between being busy and being productive. And it's a vital distinction because most people confuse activity with accomplishment. They confuse motion with momentum. They confuse being tired at the end of the day with having made a difference. So, how do you create value? Value begins with understanding people. Every dollar is a reflection of a need met. Someone has a problem, and if you can solve it, if you can meet that need in a way that matters, the world will reward you. It doesn't matter whether it's a product, a service, advice, entertainment, or inspiration. If what you offer improves someone else's life in a meaningful way, money will follow. That's why you see people who have little formal education, no special connections, yet they create massive wealth. They understood what people wanted, what people needed, and they delivered it in a way that mattered. Another key to value is skill. The more skilled you become, the greater the value you can deliver. Skills compound. Each new skill doesn't just add value, it multiplies it. Someone who knows one trade well can earn a living, but someone who combines multiple skills can create solutions that are rare and in high demand. Skills are also portable. They don't depend on the office you work in, the company you work for, or even the economy at large. When you have value inside you, no external circumstance can take it away. And here's the beauty: the more value you bring to the marketplace, the more the marketplace is willing to reward you. That's why people who think like employees often limit their earnings. They measure themselves by what they see around them. But people who think like entrepreneurs, investors, or creators measure themselves by the value they create. Now, let's talk about mindset. Many people have what I call the scarcity mindset. They think there's only so much money in the world, so I have to fight for a piece of it. That's not how value works. Value multiplies, it grows. It is not a zero-sum game. If you provide something unique, something useful, something that people want, you don't take money from someone else. You create new wealth for yourself and for the world. This is a mindset shift that most people never make, and it is one of the most profound secrets of financial success. You stop competing for scraps and start creating new opportunities. An essential part of developing value is integrity. People pay more for trust than they do for skill alone. You can be the most talented person in the room, but if you cannot be trusted, if your word is unreliable, if people doubt your character, your value diminishes. Conversely, when people know that you deliver on your promises, that you keep your commitments, that you are reliable, your value skyrockets. Trust compounds over time, and it opens doors to opportunities that skill alone cannot reach. Relationships, reputation, and results all intersect to create something that is far more valuable than money alone. Consider the idea of leverage. Time has limits. We each have only 24 hours in a day, and once that time is gone, it's gone forever. But value can be multiplied through leverage. If you create a product, a service, a system, or a piece of knowledge that can serve hundreds, thousands, or millions of people, your value is no longer confined to your hours. You can work 1 hour to impact 1,000 people. That is the magic of value. It is not bound by your personal effort. It is bound by the magnitude of your contribution. Every great entrepreneur, every great investor, every great innovator understands this principle intuitively. They ask not, how long can I work? But rather, how much value can I produce? Action is the next step. You can understand value. You can see it clearly. But until you act on it, it is only theory. Action without thought is wasted, but thought without action is equally useless. You must identify the areas where you can create meaningful solutions, then commit to doing the work that turns ideas into reality. And here is the catch. Creating value often requires doing more than what is expected. It requires going beyond the ordinary, delivering something above and beyond what people are accustomed to receiving. Ordinary effort yields ordinary rewards. Extraordinary value yields extraordinary rewards. Another important aspect is learning from feedback. People who deliver high value are always listening. They are observing the market, listening to customers, studying trends, refining their craft. They are constantly asking, how can I serve better? How can I improve? How can I make this more useful, more effective, more impactful? When you embrace feedback, even criticism, as a tool for growth, your value increases exponentially. You stop guessing and start knowing, and knowing allows you to act in ways that are aligned with real-world demand. And let's not forget patience. Value takes time to recognize. You may work diligently to create something extraordinary, yet the reward may not be immediate. Most people give up too soon, thinking that effort alone should guarantee results. But value, when it is genuine and sustainable, eventually finds its market. The law is simple: the more people you serve with excellence, the more opportunities will come to you. This is why persistence is inseparable from value. It is not enough to have the capacity to produce. You must continue producing consistently until the market catches up with your brilliance. Finally, wealth is a reflection of value, but it is also a reflection of generosity. The more freely you share your knowledge, your skills, your solutions, your time in ways that genuinely help others, the more value you demonstrate. And here is the paradox: giving does not diminish wealth, it increases it. The marketplace rewards those who create abundant solutions, those who think in terms of contribution rather than consumption. Money is attracted to service, to usefulness, to the person who makes life easier, better, and more fulfilling for others. In essence, you must start thinking in terms of value instead of time. The question is not, how many hours can I work? The question is, how much difference can I make? You measure your wealth not by the paycheck that comes in, but by the value you consistently deliver. You measure your success by the impact, the quality, and the sustainability of what you produce. And when you adopt this philosophy, you naturally begin to see opportunities to innovate, to rise above competition, and to create a life of financial independence that is not limited by your hours, but defined by your value. But many people earn money and treat it as something to be spent, something to be consumed, something to disappear as quickly as it arrived. They work hard to earn it, and then it leaves their hands just as fast, often leaving them feeling trapped in a cycle of working for money rather than making money work for them. This is where the habit of multiplication comes into play. The wealthy understand that money is not merely a tool to survive, it is a tool to grow, to leverage, and to multiply. Every dollar you earn is a seed. If you plant it wisely, it can grow into a tree that bears fruit for years to come. If you spend it carelessly, it withers and dies. The difference lies not in how much you earn, but in what you do with what you earn. And that is the foundation of financial freedom. The first step in this habit is to develop the mindset of an investor. Most people look at money and see a number. They see 100 of 504,000 and they imagine it is only worth its face value. But money, when treated correctly, has potential far beyond its immediate use. If you save intelligently, if you allocate it into assets, if you let it work for you, it can create streams of income that no paycheck alone could ever provide. This is why learning to see money as a productive force rather than a consumable force is essential. Each dollar can become an employee, a servant, a partner that works tirelessly to generate more dollars without requiring additional hours from you. Next comes the practice of disciplined allocation. Multiplication does not happen by accident, it happens through intentional choices. You must divide your money into distinct purposes, a portion to live on, a portion to save, a portion to invest, and a portion to learn. By creating these allocations, you ensure that each dollar has a role and that no dollar is left idle or wasted. Idle money is opportunity lost. Every dollar you put to work is an investment in your future, a commitment to building wealth that compounds over time. And compounding is the most powerful principle in finance, more powerful than any job, more powerful than any business strategy, because it multiplies both your capital and your confidence in your ability to grow it. To multiply your money effectively, you must also understand risk. Multiplication does not mean reckless spending, chasing fads, or gambling. It means calculated, informed action. Every investment carries a degree of risk, but risk is not the enemy. Ignorance is. Educate yourself, study the patterns of markets, understand the fundamentals, and make decisions based on knowledge rather than emotion. When you do this consistently, you turn risk into opportunity. You transform the fear of losing money into the thrill of growth because you know that every step is backed by preparation and insight. An important aspect of this habit is patience. Many people want money to multiply instantly. They are looking for the quick win, the shortcut to wealth. But true multiplication takes time. A seed does not become a tree overnight, and a dollar invested wisely does not produce a fortune immediately. You must be willing to give your investments the time to grow, to compound, and to produce the returns you envisioned. Patience, coupled with consistent action, separates those who achieve financial independence from those who remain trapped in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. The law of compounding rewards persistence, not speed, and it rewards those who continue to invest intelligently, even when immediate results are not apparent. Another key factor is diversification. Just as a farmer would not plant a single crop hoping it will feed an entire village, you should not place all your money in a single investment or opportunity. Spreading your capital across different assets, industries, and methods of investment protects you from loss while increasing the potential for growth. Diversification allows you to capture multiple streams of income, each contributing to your overall wealth in a different way. Some streams may be slow, steady, and reliable, while others may be faster, riskier, and higher yielding, but together they create balance and resilience in your financial life. The habit of multiplication also requires a continuous mindset of learning. Money is not static. Markets change, economies fluctuate, opportunities evolve. To keep your dollars working effectively, you must remain vigilant, informed, and adaptable. Read books, seek mentorship, attend seminars, and constantly expand your understanding of how money grows. Knowledge itself is an asset, and when paired with capital, it multiplies results exponentially. Those who stop learning risk stagnation, while those who continually grow their knowledge position themselves to seize opportunities others cannot even see. Leverage is a natural extension of multiplication. The wealthy understand that they do not have to rely solely on their own labor to increase their wealth. By leveraging resources, networks, systems, and even the skills of others, they amplify the impact of each dollar. This does not mean taking advantage of people or exploiting them. It means creating systems where money and effort work together efficiently. A dollar invested in a productive business, in a growing asset, or in someone with complementary skills can generate results far beyond what a single person could achieve alone. This principle of leverage is what separates those who remain limited by their own effort from those who experience exponential growth. Gratitude and discipline are also central to this habit. Many people earn money, spend it recklessly, and wonder why it never seems to multiply. Discipline ensures that money is allocated and invested correctly. Gratitude reminds us to respect the value of money, to use it intentionally, and to recognize that each dollar is a tool with the potential to serve us if we act wisely. Together, discipline and gratitude create a mindset where money is neither hoarded nor squandered, but employed strategically to create a future of freedom and opportunity. Another critical element is reinvestment. The moment you receive profit from your investments, do not be tempted to consume it all. Instead, reinvest a portion to grow your capital further. Reinvestment accelerates the compounding process and builds momentum over time. Wealth, when handled correctly, is self-perpetuating. Every return becomes a seed for the next growth cycle, and over years, this process turns modest savings into significant fortunes. The habit of reinvesting, combined with patience and persistence, is the engine that drives financial independence. Finally, generosity multiplies wealth in ways that are often invisible at first, but profound in the long run. Sharing a portion of your earnings to help others, support communities, or fund initiatives not only creates goodwill, but also opens doors to opportunities and relationships that money alone cannot buy. Generosity builds influence, trust, and networks, which become additional channels through which your money can grow. The wealthy understand that value is not confined to the personal ledger. It flows outward, and the more it flows, the more it returns. This principle is simple yet powerful. By helping others, you create environments where money, opportunities, and influence all multiply. In summary, the habit of multiplication is not about magic, luck, or secrets that only a few know. It is about discipline, knowledge, patience, reinvestment, diversification, leverage, and generosity. It is about seeing every dollar not as a number, but as a potential employee, a partner, a worker that, when managed wisely, can produce results far beyond your own labor. When you adopt this habit, you stop being a consumer of money and start being its architect, its manager, and its creator. Every dollar begins to work for you, and in turn, your wealth begins to grow without being directly tied to the hours you work. Most people underestimate the power of stewardship. They see wealth as something to be chased, something to be grabbed, something to be accumulated, but they overlook the fact that handling wealth wisely is just as important as creating it. Stewardship is the principle that teaches you how to manage little so you can handle much. It is the mindset that transforms ordinary earnings into extraordinary outcomes. Without stewardship, money comes and goes like water through your fingers. With it, even modest resources can grow into significant and lasting wealth. It begins with the understanding that money, time, and resources are entrusted to you, not to be wasted, but to be used intelligently and responsibly. The first aspect of stewardship is control over spending. Many people earn decent incomes, yet struggle financially because they spend carelessly. The problem is not always the amount of money earned, but the lack of management. Every dollar has a purpose, and when you fail to direct it consciously, it drifts away on frivolities. Stewardship teaches that you must allocate resources deliberately, prioritizing needs over wants, essentials over luxuries, and investment over consumption. Discipline in spending is not deprivation, it is preparation. It is the skill that allows you to preserve capital, multiply resources, and create opportunities for future growth. Closely tied to this is the habit of saving. Saving is often misunderstood as simply putting money aside. In truth, it is the cultivation of potential. A saved dollar is not dormant, it is the seed of tomorrow's opportunity. Stewardship is about recognizing that even small amounts, when saved consistently, compound into substantial sums. The habit of saving instills patience and reinforces the mindset that wealth is not an instant reward, but a result of deliberate and ongoing effort. It also provides a buffer, a sense of security that allows you to take calculated risks, invest intelligently, and pursue opportunities without fear of immediate loss. Stewardship extends beyond money. It is also about managing time. Time is the one resource that is both finite and irreplaceable, and how you manage it determines your capacity to handle greater responsibilities and greater rewards. Effective stewardship of time requires focus, planning, and prioritization. It demands that you identify what is most important, eliminate distractions, and dedicate your energy to activities that produce the highest value. Time, like money, compounds when invested wisely. Hours spent learning, creating, networking, and improving your skills yield returns that far exceed the immediate effort. Those who fail to manage time effectively may find that even substantial earnings are squandered, opportunities are missed, and potential remains untapped. The mindset of stewardship also involves accountability. When you take responsibility for your resources, you are empowered to control outcomes. Blaming external circumstances for financial shortfalls or inefficiencies in time management is a trap that keeps most people stagnant. Stewardship requires you to own the consequences of your decisions and to make conscious choices that align with long-term goals. Accountability fosters discipline, resilience, and consistency, all of which are essential to growing wealth and influence. Without it, even the best intentions cannot translate into sustainable results. Another critical aspect of stewardship is investing in knowledge. Education is not a cost, it is an investment. The mind is a resource that compounds faster than money itself when properly cultivated. By allocating resources, time, money, and energy toward learning and self-improvement, you enhance your ability to handle greater responsibilities and multiply outcomes. Knowledge allows you to identify opportunities, minimize risks, and make informed decisions. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary because those who are educated in the art of managing resources can turn modest means into remarkable achievements. Stewardship also emphasizes the power of consistency. Managing small things well creates the habits and skills needed to manage bigger things later. Just as a person who cannot manage a small sum will struggle to manage millions, a person who cannot manage an hour of productive work will find it difficult to lead large projects or teams. Consistency in managing daily resources, whether money, time, or effort, develops the discipline, attention to detail, and reliability that are essential when handling greater responsibilities. Wealth, influence, and opportunity often arrive gradually, and those who can steward what they already have are prepared to receive and manage more without being overwhelmed. An often overlooked element of stewardship is the understanding of opportunity costs. Every decision has a cost, and every resource allocated in one direction is a resource not allocated elsewhere. The wise steward evaluates alternatives, considers trade-offs, and chooses actions that maximize long-term value. This level of intentionality separates those who accumulate wealth and experience growth from those who react impulsively and miss potential gains. Stewardship is not merely about restraint. It is about intelligent and strategic allocation of resources to generate the highest return in multiple dimensions of life. Stewardship also requires humility. Many people believe that financial management is solely about intelligence or technical skill, but it is equally about attitude. Humility allows you to listen, learn, and adapt. It prevents arrogance from leading to reckless decisions or overconfidence. Humility ensures that you respect the resources entrusted to you and recognize that your ability to grow wealth is connected to your discipline, wisdom, and willingness to apply proven principles. Wealth without humility is fragile, while wealth managed with humility can endure and multiply across generations. Another component is foresight. Stewardship is not reactive, it is proactive. It involves anticipating future needs, challenges, and opportunities and positioning your resources accordingly. This requires vision and planning. Those who steward well do not merely react to what comes, they create a roadmap, allocate resources strategically, and prepare for scenarios before they occur. By thinking ahead, you avoid unnecessary losses, seize emerging opportunities, and leverage your existing resources to their fullest potential. Foresight transforms ordinary management into strategic mastery. Stewardship also encourages a balance between living and saving. Excessive accumulation without enjoyment is not the goal, nor is reckless spending. The wise steward allocates for both immediate needs and long-term goals. This balance ensures sustainability. Money used wisely today can provide growth for tomorrow, while resources preserved allow for security and flexibility. Stewardship is the discipline of maintaining equilibrium, knowing when to act, when to save, when to invest, and when to give. This balance prevents burnout, fosters satisfaction, and encourages a sense of purpose alongside financial growth. Generosity is another critical aspect. Stewardship is not solely about personal gain. It is about using resources responsibly, which includes sharing with others in ways that create value and positive impact. Giving, whether through mentorship, charity, or supporting initiatives, amplifies influence and creates networks of goodwill that can return benefits in unexpected ways. Stewardship recognizes that resources are most powerful when they circulate responsibly, creating benefits for oneself and for others. This principle not only strengthens character, but also multiplies the impact of financial and personal resources. Finally, the essence of stewardship is preparation for greater responsibility. Those who manage small amounts, small projects, and small opportunities well are prepared to handle larger ones. Life will present moments where more wealth influence or responsibility comes into your hands, and the difference between success and failure lies in your ability to steward what you already have. By cultivating the mindset of stewardship, you train yourself to handle complexity, to make informed decisions, and to grow resources in a sustainable way. It is the discipline that transforms potential into performance, small beginnings into significant achievements, and ordinary management into extraordinary mastery